Welcome to the Family Sports Trivia Podcast. We are your hosts, Theo
and Joanna. We are a mom and son duo who love playing games and trivia with the rest of our family. Each episode consists of 2 rounds of sports trivia, and you can follow along at home or in the car. Let's get to it.
This episode is all about the New York Knicks. The big market team has a rich history and some of the most dedicated fans.
Our contestants will alternate questions, and we encourage those of you following along to either play adult versus kid or combine your powers to try to beat our contestants' total scores.
The first round has questions worth 1 point each, and the second round has questions worth 2 points each.
We have some special guests here today to celebrate a very special Knicks team. Today's contestants are Dad, Sean, and daughter, Esme. Sean is a longtime Phoenix Suns fan and still likes to play basketball in his free time. As a native New Yorker, Esme has been caught up in the Knicks fever that has taken over the city. Both contestants were given the theme of this episode ahead of time and were encouraged to study.
Sean, how did you prepare for this episode?
I prepared by trying to help Esme prepare. It's pretty big of me.
Esme, how did you prepare for this episode?
I studied what he gave me and I watched some videos.
Well, hopefully that's enough. Question 1 is for Sean. How many championships have the Knicks won? Is it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5?
As of last night, the New York Knicks have won 3 championships. B.
That's correct. They won their first 2 championships in 1970 and 1973, and their third came in 2026 to the delight of all of New York City. Question 2 is for Esme. The New York Knicks are a nickname. What is the team's full name? Is it A, the Knickerbockers, B, the Nickelbacks, C, the Pumpernickels, or D, the Knickknacks?
A.
That's correct, the Knickerbockers. The team was established in 1946, named the Knickerbockers. Fans pretty immediately started calling them the Knicks. Question 3 is for Sean. Who is the Knicks' all-time leading scorer? Is it A, Walt Frazier, B, Willis Reed, C, Allen Houston, or D, Patrick Ewing?
I'm going to go with D, Patrick Ewing.
That's correct. Ewing also leads the franchise in rebounds and blocks. Question 4 is for Esme. Which player sparked Linsanity in 2012? Is it A, Landry Fields, B, Jeremy Lin, C, Steve Novak, or D, Tyson Chandler?
B. Jeremy Lin.
Very good. If you got that wrong, I was going to totally just blame your dad for failing you. So. Part of what made Jeremy Lin so special was that Lin was undrafted before becoming an overnight sensation. I imagine we will eventually do an entire episode dedicated to this great player at some point in the future. Question 5 is for Sean. Which team did Jeremy Lin drop 38 points against at Madison Square Garden? Was it A, the Lakers, B, the Heat, C, the Bulls, or D, the Suns?
My favorite part of that game was when Jeremy Lin did that spin move on Derek Fisher, who was playing for the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's correct. Jeremy Lin scored a career-high 38 points at Madison Square Garden on February 10th, 2012, leading the underdog New York Knicks to a 92-85 upset victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. This iconic performance outdueled Kobe Bryant, who scored 34 in that same game, and officially cemented the global Linsanity phenomenon. Question 6 is for Esme. Which other New York sports team has the same colors as the Knicks? Is it A, the New York Liberty, B, the New York Yankees, C, the New York Mets, or D, the New York Giants?
The Mets.
Very good. Yeah, did you know that blue and orange are the official colors of the state of New York? So it makes sense that there are multiple teams in New York with the same colors. Question 7 is for Sean. Which former Syracuse star became the face of the Knicks in the 2010s? Is it A, Carmelo Anthony, B, Amari Stoudemire, C, J.R. Smith, or D, Iman Shumpert?
Mellow.
That's correct. Carmelo Anthony. Melo holds the Knicks single game record with 62 points. In 2013, he also won the scoring title, averaging 29 points per game. Question 8 is for Esme. Which famous chant is commonly heard at Knicks games? Is it A, Knicks are the best? B, let's go Knicks? C, defense forever? Or D, New York rules?
C.
That is a really good guess, but it is incorrect. Although the Knicks are known for really excellent defense, the chant that you will hear is Let's go Knicks. And this chant is yelled throughout the stadium and around the city when the Knicks are playing well. Question 9 goes to Sean. Which member of the 2026 Knicks team was traded for in 2024 when the Knicks sent Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and Keita Bates-Diop to Minnesota? Was it A, Jalen Brunson, B, Karl Anthony Towns, C, Mikal Bridges, or D, Josh Hart?
Karl Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Bodega Cat.
That's correct. I think the Knicks won this trade, even though it would have been really cool to have DiVincenzo with his fellow Nova championship teammates, Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. Question 10 goes to Esme. Which guard led the Knicks in their historic 2026 championship? Was it A, Karl Anthony Towns, B, Mikal Bridges, C, Jalen Brunson, or D, OG Anunoby?
Jalen Brunson.
Very good. Yeah, did you know that Jalen Brunson tied Michael Jordan's record for the most points scored on the road in an NBA Finals clinching game? Brunson achieved this legendary milestone by pouring in 45 points in Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs. He was declared the Finals MVP and may end up going down as the greatest New York Knick ever. Theo, what is the score after round 1?
Sean has 5 and Esme has 4.
Families at home and in the car, what was your score? Did you beat Sean and Esme? Before we get into round 2, our next segment is called the Sports Stat Corner, where we explain a sports stat related to our episode. Today's stat is offensive rebounds. An offensive rebound is when your team gets the ball back immediately after your team has missed a shot. This gives your team a second chance to score and very often results in a score. The offensive rebound percentage is calculated by taking the number of offensive rebounds divided by the number of missed shots for your team. For example, if the Knicks miss 25 shots but take 10 offensive rebounds, that is calculated by dividing 10 by 25 for 40%. The NBA average for offensive rebounds is around 27 to 30% in a given season. So if your team averages above 30%, that is very good, and even above a 32% is considered elite. For a player, the NBA keeps track of their total offensive rebounds per game in addition to their percentage taken, and anyone who has more than 3 per game is considered elite. The best offensive rebounders in NBA history were Moses Malone, who averaged over 5 per game, and who also has the most in history, and Dennis Rodman, who took over 17% of the offensive rebounds available to him. For the New York Knicks, Charles Oakley has the most offensive rebounds in team history, and the most in a single season with 349 in the 1993-94 season. More recently, Mitchell Robinson took 295 offensive rebounds in the 21-22 season and has averaged over 17% over his tenure with the Knicks. So it's an interesting stat because in order for your team to get a lot of offensive rebounds, they also need to miss a lot of shots. So usually teams who are good at getting them are called gritty. They put their team in a great position for second chances and can make up for weaker shooting. Join us next episode for our next Sports Stat Corner.
Welcome back. Round 2 has questions that will be worth 2 points each. As a reminder, the score is Sean has 5 and Esme has 4.
Question 1 is for Sean. Who was the coach that led the Knicks to their first 2 championships? Was it A, Red Holzman, B, Rick Pitino, C, Joe Lapchick, or D, Dick McGuire?
D?
That is incorrect. The correct answer is A, Red Holzman. He coached the team from 1967 to 1977. Question 2 is for Esme. Which famous movie director is the Knicks' most recognizable celebrity fan? Is it A, Steven Spielberg, B, Martin Scorsese, C, Spike Lee, or D, Ron Howard?
C?
That's correct. Spike Lee has had season tickets since the 1980s and has sat courtside for decades. He is iconic in New York and always has some of the best outfits. Question 3 is for Sean. Who was the Knicks' biggest playoff rival in the 1990s? Was it A, the Cleveland Cavaliers, B, the Indiana Pacers, C, the Detroit Pistons, or D, the Boston Celtics?
Indiana Pacers.
That's correct. Knicks-Pacers games often felt more like boxing matches than basketball games, and the rivalry was intense. They played each other 6 times in the playoffs in the 90s, and it was pretty bitter. Reggie Miller is famous for making a choking signal toward the Knicks to taunt them. Even since the Knicks started returning to the playoffs, the Pacers knocked them out in some of the biggest series in recent history. Question 4 is for Esme. Also in the 1990s, which superstar frequently blocked the Knicks from reaching the finals? Was it A, Magic Johnson, B, Michael Jordan, C, Larry Bird, or D, Kobe Bryant?
B?
That's correct. Okay, good. You know about Michael Jordan. The Bulls and the Knicks met 5 times in the playoffs in the 1990s. Many people wonder if the Chicago Bulls didn't have Michael Jordan, could the Knicks have won a championship in the 90s? But they did have Michael Jordan, so sorry. Question 5 is for Sean. Who coached the tough Knicks teams of the early 90s? Was it A, Phil Jackson, B, Isaiah Thomas, C, Pat Riley, or D, Jeff Van Gundy?
Pat Riley.
That's correct. He coached them from 1991 to 1995. During his tenure, he had a 68% winning percentage in the regular season and over a 50% winning percentage in the playoffs. He was also named NBA Coach of the Year during the 92-93 season. He eventually went on to become a winning head coach for the Miami Heat. Question 6 is for Esme. Before 2025, when was the last time the Knicks played in the Eastern Conference Finals? Was it A, 2000, B, 2006, C, 2013, or D, 2018?
2018?
Oh, you young child. Nope, it was much before that. It was actually, they were regular participants in the Eastern Conference Finals during the 90s, but has struggled to return since 2000, which partly is why this current team is so popular, because it's the first time they made it back since 2000. So they made their return to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2025 and now 2026. Question 7 is for Sean. Which coach led the Knicks back to relevance in the early 2020s? Is it A, Mike D'Antoni, B, Mike Brown, C, Tom Thibodeau, or D, Larry Brown?
C, Thibodeau.
That's correct. Former coach for the Chicago Bulls, he helped transform the Knicks into a hardworking, disciplined playoff contender and probably isn't given enough credit for the 2026 season's success. The number one flaw of overusing his starters has been corrected, though, by Coach Mike Brown, as evidenced by their epic first season with him as a coach. Question 8 is for Esme. Which former Chicago Bulls player was not part of the Knicks' Bulls East era? Was it A, Derrick Rose, B, Joakim Noah, C, Taj Gibson, or D, Luol Deng?
I'm just going to guess A.
That is incorrect. Derrick Rose coming back to New York was one of my personal highlights of the Knicks in recent memory. But it was actually D, Luol Deng. Deng was one of Tom Thibodeau's favorite players in Chicago, but he never actually played for the Knicks, even though many fans assumed he eventually would. Personally, this is when I started to pay attention to the Knicks because I cared so much about these players and the playoff runs they took with Chicago. Question 9 is for Sean. Which Knicks player hit the shot to eliminate the Miami Heat in the 1999 playoffs? Was it A, Allen Houston, B, Latrell Sprewell, C, Larry Johnson, or D, John Starks?
Okay, if I get this right, I only know it because of Esme, because we were preparing together. A, Allen Houston.
That's correct. The Heat and the Knicks were tied 2-2 in a best-of-5 playoff series. People assumed that Van Gundy designed an inbound pass for Patrick Ewing, but Houston flew in to take the pass, and with 0.8 seconds left in the game, Allen Houston went up over multiple players to shock the Heat. And our final question is for Esme. Before 2026, the last time the Knicks made the NBA Finals was in 1999. Which seed were they that year? Was it A, the first seed, B, the 4th seed, C, the 6th seed, or D, the 8th seed?
A seed?
That's correct. Yeah, this was the first time an 8 seed had ever reached the NBA Finals. And this was also why Allen Houston's shot went down in history, because the Knicks beat the number 1 seed in the first round of the playoffs that year. Thank you so much to our contestants. Thea, what was the final score?
Sean has 13 and Esme has 10.
Well, we hope you'll all take some time to check out Sean's own podcast called The Dad Bod, which we think many of our sports parents would enjoy. And until the next episode, Sean will have bragging rights in their home. So thank you all for joining us, and we hope you'll tune in for our next episode.
All right. Well, thank you to our guests. We hope that you enjoyed your competitive challenge. Any feedback, any thoughts?
That was a lot of fun. I would say Esme has a real game face, which I'm pretty sure she got from me.
It was true. I didn't know whether you knew you knew the answers or not, Esme.
But she did really well.
Yeah, you did awesome.
She's, I'm a lifelong NBA fan, and she has been into just the Knicks for about a month. So she did very well.
You did great.
That's great. Excellent work.
At some point, she was ahead. At some point, I stumbled on a question, and I completely biffed it, and then she pulled ahead. So I had a lot of fun. That was great.
All right. Well, this has been a memorable experience, not just because we get to cross over with Dad Bod and that podcast, but also last night because the Knicks won the championship, which was a little not unexpected, but before recording this, we didn't know that they were going to win. This will be a memorable experience for all of us, but what was a past memorable experience, basketball experience for each of you? Esme, would you like to go first?
Well, I haven't been watching basketball for that long, so probably nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What about last night?
You can just say last night.
I guess, but
It's hard to impress New Yorkers, is what I'll say. And she's a native.
Theo, do you have a past memorable basketball experience?
Probably last night.
All right, fair enough. I think we'll all remember that for a long time. And our other guest, Sean.
I would let me offer one first, which is OG Anunoby's tip. I felt like I almost died that whole game. It was an amazing feeling. I still can't believe it happened. And then another one that was not very good for me, but connects Joanna and me, well before we became friends, was when the Suns were playing the Bulls in the 92-93 finals. And was it Paxson? It was John Paxson who hit that elbow three and broke my heart. So it's funny how this podcast basically turned into a quasi Chicago Bulls podcast. That's my one critique.
Yeah, I know. Russell will give me a hard time about that too. But I think it's a relevant piece of the Knicks comeback here is Thibodeau and what he's done in the last decade.
It's very editorialized, but okay.
You do know that Thibodeau coached someplace between the Bulls and the Knicks, right?
Sure.
But you just said he was the Bulls coach.
Okay.
Anyways, Joanna, would you like to share a memorable basketball experience in your life?
Well, so I also can remember the 93 Bulls championship over the Suns, but I was only, I was very young. I was younger than Esme is now. So at the time, I didn't really understand the significance of it. And I remember I was actually cheering for the Suns because I didn't really understand and everyone around me was rooting for the Bulls and I just didn't get it. So like I was just rebellious. And so I was like, no, the Suns are going to three-peat. And then my friend's mom was like, that's not what three-peat means. I was like, oh, well, okay, well, whatever. But then eventually I understood what was happening. And then by the 98 championship, I remember one of my best friends came over and we watched it together. And we just had such a great time cheering for the 98 team. And at that point, like I understood what was happening. And that's a great memory for me.
All right, thank you. And our second and last question, if you could, and this is going to be a little different depending on who I'm asking here, but if you could either meet or host on your podcast any of the current Knicks, who would it be and why? Esme, would you like to go first?
well, yesterday when I was watching like the interviews, I thought Josh Hart's twins were so cute. So I guess I would want to meet him.
Very cute, very cute. Yeah, I love the family dynamics there. And Sean?
I think I would go with Jalen Brunson. I love his relationship with his dad, and his character is what makes him a different player. And that definitely has to do with what it means to be a dad today, which is our tagline on the Dad Bod. My second choice would probably be Kat. And then maybe OG. I mean, they all seem like such great guys. So if anybody has any connections, please help me out. I would love to have any of these Knicks onto the Dad Bod.
And Theo, if you could meet any of the current Knicks, who would you want to meet and why?
Probably Jalen Brunson, then OG, then Hart.
Any reason why?
No.
And Joanna, if you could host and do a family trivia podcast with any player, who would it be and why?
I'm not actually sure who has kids that are old enough that could compete against each other. I mean, I guess we could have Jalen with his dad. That would certainly be fun. We could do some deep cuts of Knicks Trivia with them. But yeah, I mean, I would die to meet any of them. Probably Josh Hart the most, though.
All right. Well, thank you to our guests.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. Bye.